It's one of the most important decisions you will ever face in crypto, choosing an exchange. Choose the right one and your journey into the market will be smooth sailing. Make the wrong choice and you could end up capsizing and losing all your money. My name is Guy, and in this video we're going to be covering the 5 best crypto exchanges on the market. And if you stick around to the end, you'll learn tips and tricks that could literally save you thousands of dollars. But before we get started, there are a few things you need to know. Firstly, you could be using the most secure exchange on the planet, but when it comes to keeping your crypto safe, there is no substitute for self-custody. Any crypto that you're not actively buying or selling should be stored in your own wallet and not left lying around on exchanges. After all, when exchanges fail, they don't always give you advance warning. That's why you are the best custodian of your own crypto. And secondly, this video is not sponsored in any way. We may have affiliate partnerships with some of the exchanges featured, but they have no bearing on this video. No exchange had any input, nor did they get to see the output before you do. You can rest assured that we are telling you the unbiased truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And for consistency's sake, each exchange will be evaluated based on its security, asset support, fees, and trading experience. And lastly, the exchanges are presented here in no particular order. So, with that said, let's get into it. Okay, first up is the bluest of blue chip crypto exchanges. It's Coinbase, one of the biggest names in crypto, and with a brand so strong that it even has imitators in other countries. Not naming any names, of course. Coinbase is the largest exchange by trading volume in the United States, and it's also the only crypto exchange that's listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Being a publicly traded company has helped Coinbase to achieve possibly the best brand recognition in all of crypto, but it's also put the company under a great deal of regulatory scrutiny. So, fittingly, Coinbase's brand has been built on its efforts to comply with the tangled mess of regulations in the US. These efforts have helped Coinbase to become the de facto leader of crypto advocacy in Washington, D.C. and beyond. Now, the company was co-founded by current CEO Brian Armstrong in 2012, making it one of the oldest exchanges in crypto today. It was originally headquartered in San Francisco, but shut its offices in 2021 and is now run remotely and operates in around 100 countries. Coinbase is still a US exchange, though, and it is the quintessential onshore exchange. More on that later. So, now you know a bit about the company, but what about the exchange itself? Is it safe to use? Well, among crypto exchanges, Coinbase has got a strong reputation. You don't spend a decade building a squeaky clean brand name without having a secure exchange to back it up. 98% of crypto assets in Coinbase's custody are held offline in cold storage, and those that are online are insured. In the US, customer cash deposits are covered by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation for up to $250,000. Just note, though, that this coverage does not extend to crypto assets. As a publicly traded company, Coinbase has its financial statements audited by Deloitte, one of the world's top accounting firms. This is about as good as it gets when it comes to an exchange giving customers confidence in its solvency. Now, like I said, Coinbase has a stellar reputation for security, but is it spotless? Well, not quite. Coinbase has been hacked once in March 2021. Hackers managed to access 6,000 customer accounts, which is obviously a pretty serious breach. To Coinbase's credit, though, the matter was resolved promptly, customers were reimbursed for losses, and security procedures were improved. All in all, if the idea of putting money on a crypto exchange makes you nervous, then Coinbase is a pretty safe bet. Its whole shtick is playing by the rules, doing everything above board, and being an upstanding representative of crypto in general. Just remember, no exchange is ever as secure as self-custodying your crypto. One of the drawbacks to Coinbase's compliance-first approach, however, is that its listing policies are quite conservative. For example, the second largest meme coin on Ethereum, Pepe, was only listed in November 2024. This was more than a year later than other major exchanges whose more liberal listing policies emphasize striking while the iron is hot, so to speak. Now, when you load up the Coinbase exchange, you'll see a very long list of over 17,000 cryptos. But unlike other exchanges, the list that Coinbase shows you here is merely an index of cryptos like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. At the top of the list, there is a filter for displaying tradable cryptos, and if you use it, the list shrinks dramatically to just 263. Now, this should be more than enough if you're looking for majors, large or medium cap cryptos. For many smaller coins and tokens, though, Coinbase is likely not the exchange for you. Now, this is just a symptom of it being an onshore exchange, which means Coinbase has to tread carefully in order not to get sued by US authorities. This means refraining from listing cryptos that the SEC might label a security, although this approach hasn't worked and the SEC actually sued Coinbase last year. However, that was Gary Gensler's SEC, and as we record this, he's going to need a new job soon. With the recent regime change in Washington, US-based exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken will now have little reason to not list hot new cryptos at the same rate as their offshore competitors. It's no coincidence that Coinbase listed WIF and Pepe shortly after Donald Trump was re-elected, and not before. Now, cryptos are not the only assets we need to worry about, however. The ability to convert fiat currencies into crypto is one of the most important features of any exchange. But despite Coinbase operating in over 100 countries, users are only able to on-ramp using US dollars, British pounds, and the euro. It is possible to on-ramp using local currencies in other parts of the world, but this can be expensive and your fiat will be displayed in dollars. This is a shame because some of Coinbase's competitors support a much wider range of fiat currencies. Like most other exchanges, though, Coinbase offers various different methods of getting fiat on and off the platform, including credit and debit cards and bank transfers. You have to be careful here, though, because the fees vary a lot. I'll link to the full details of the fee structure in the description. Wherever you are, using a credit card is usually the most expensive option, so it should be avoided if at all possible. Most other methods will be cheaper. For example, you can use ACH for free in the US. In Europe, wire transfers are available through SEPA for 15 cents, or £1 via faster payments if you're in the UK. For the rest of the world, SWIFT may be the most convenient option, but it can be expensive. Alrighty then, so how much does it cost to use Coinbase? Well, I'm afraid to say it has a reputation for charging higher trading fees than other top exchanges. Like other exchanges, how much you pay depends on how much you trade. All of the exchanges we'll talk about today share the same basic fee structure, where users are placed into tiers based on their 30-day trading volume. The higher your tier, the lower your fees will be. Now, fees are charged based on the maker-taker model. If you're not familiar, this is order book jargon, but it's quite simple. You are a taker when you place a market order and it is executed immediately. Your order was matched with another order that was already on the order book, hence you are taking liquidity. Coinbase charges taker fees ranging from 0.04% to 0.6%. Makers are the other end of the transaction. When you place an order but it's not executed immediately, it will stay on the order book until it's matched with a taker's order. You are therefore a maker of liquidity on the order book. Coinbase charges makers between 0% and 0.60%. These maker and taker fees make Coinbase one of the most, if not the most expensive crypto exchange on the market. You can get an idea of what tier you will land in and how much you'll pay using the full trading fee tables for Coinbase and the other exchanges in this video, which I'll link to down below. Now then, what about the experience of trading? Like the Coinbase brand, the exchange is approachable and easy for beginners to understand. Newcomers will not be confronted with an intimidating trading terminal because this is tucked away into Coinbase Advanced Trade. If you navigate to Advanced Trade, you'll find the order book, candlestick charts, and indicators provided by TradingView, and limit, market, and stop orders. Although for an advanced trading platform, there's surprisingly little else. I guess Coinbase Intermediate doesn't sound as good, but that would be a little more accurate. The features here will be sufficient for most users, but they are quite minimal when compared to trading terminals on other major exchanges, as we shall soon see. So then, all in all, Coinbase is an excellent crypto exchange for casual users and newcomers dipping their toes into crypto for the first time. It's even better if you're based in the US, UK, or Europe, where on-ramping is cheap, if not free. Coinbase's top-notch security and regulatory credentials also put it a cut above most of its competitors in these territories. On the other hand, if you're trading a lot of crypto and don't want to spend a lot of money on fees, if you're looking for small-cap cryptos, or if you're a professional trader looking for advanced tools, then another exchange may be better suited to your needs. Other major exchanges list more cryptos, have lower trading fees, and many more features catering to traders as well. And if for whatever reason you don't have a Coinbase account yet, we'll leave a link below for you to sign up there. Okay, our next top exchange is Bybit. Unlike Coinbase, Bybit is an offshore exchange. This just means that it's based outside of certain key territories like North America, Europe, Japan, and a few others. But this gives Bybit the freedom and flexibility to list more cryptos and offer more features than US-based exchanges like Coinbase, which have to tread more carefully due to regulatory constraints. Now, Bybit was co-founded in Singapore in 2018 by current CEO Ben Zhou, a former Forex broker. After being orange-pilled in the mid-2010s, Ben noticed inefficiencies in the crypto exchanges of the day, which tended to suffer from overloads and lackluster customer support. He set out to address these shortcomings, and his exchange has done just that. 6 years on from its founding, Bybit now consistently ranks among the top 3 crypto exchanges on CoinGecko. Bybit has many different features, but it is first and foremost an exchange for trading crypto derivatives. And this is helped by Bybit's powerful matching engine, which can process 100,000 transactions per second, or one match every 10 microseconds. There's also no server downtime, as updates to Bybit are implemented by hot patch, i.e., while its systems are running. Bybit also prides itself on its refreshingly good customer support, with 24/7 live chat support available in English, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. Bybit's help center is also very comprehensive, and there's a whole library of written content to guide you through the many things you can do with your crypto on the platform. Now, after running into regulatory hurdles in Singapore, Bybit relocated to Dubai in 2022, where it benefits from the UAE's more favorable regulatory environment. Offshore status does come with its drawbacks, though. Bybit operates in 190 countries, but unfortunately not in certain key markets, including the US, Canada, UK, and the European Economic Area. If you're in one of those countries not officially served by Bybit, it may be more convenient to use an onshore exchange like Coinbase or Kraken. But is Bybit secure? Well, the first answer is always not as secure as self-custodying your crypto, but you knew that already. The second answer is yes, Bybit runs a very tight ship, with no known hacks, exploits, or security incidents reported in the history of the exchange. In addition to best practices like two-factor authentication, biometric verification, cold storage, and multi-signature wallets, Bybit also employs some more novel security features. These include round-the-clock automatic emergency response systems and an AI-driven risk engine, which prevented $79 million in fraud during suspicious withdrawal attempts this year alone. And recently, Bybit introduced additional checks for high-value transactions and a one-click account freeze, empowering users to block unauthorized access to their assets. Bybit has also doxed its own wallets to show proof of reserves. This means that anyone can verify the balance of their own assets on the exchange via Merkle-tree. You can also see the balance and ownership of the exchange wallets, as well as Bybit's reserve ratio. Now, one aspect where Bybit can't compete with the likes of Coinbase is insurance. Customer deposits are not insured, so if disaster strikes, there's no external organization that will swoop in and reimburse you. Bybit does have a customer insurance fund, but this has a more specific purpose than the name might suggest. The insurance fund is a buffer for ensuring that leveraged positions are closed in an orderly fashion without resulting in a complete loss for users during liquidation events. This does not imply insurance for spot account balances or unused balances in non-leveraged positions. Right, next up, asset support. This is one area where offshore exchanges trounce the likes of Coinbase 10 times out of 10. Being based in Dubai, Bybit is not constrained by the SEC's regulatory straitjacket. This means it can list any crypto at a moment's notice in response to market demand. And Bybit has been taking full advantage of this, moving quickly to list many of this year's hottest meme coins. In a purely attention-driven sector like memes, this ability to strike while the iron is hot is a major advantage over onshore exchanges. Thanks to this flexibility, Bybit now boasts an impressive 500-plus cryptos listed across its various markets. You'll recall how Coinbase has been around for about twice as long as Bybit, but has far fewer cryptos available for trading. And what about fiat currencies? Well, on the Bybit Fiat Deposit page, there's a drop-down menu showing 21 different national currencies, including US dollars, UK pounds, euros, and many more. Unfortunately, when we checked, the deposit feature was unavailable for more than half of these currencies, including US dollars. The deposit methods are also a little hit and miss. If you're using euros, depositing by bank transfer or SEPA incurs low fees of around 0.08% plus about 30 euro cents. If you're depositing British pounds, your only option is via Zen, a credit card provider who will charge a much higher rate of 1.22%. But what about the fees on Bybit itself? Well, as an exchange oriented towards derivatives trading, very large leverage positions are standard fare here. If you are holding a large position, even trading fees of 0.1% can end up costing you thousands of dollars over time. As such, low trading fees are a must for any exchange catering to derivatives traders. Like Coinbase, Bybit uses the same volume-based tier system to determine rates. However, unlike Coinbase, Bybit is serious about competing with Binance when it comes to fees. For spot traders, maker and taker fees both start at 0.1%. For those with the very highest trading volumes, they can reach as low as 0.015% for takers and 0.005% for makers. For perpetual and futures contract traders, the base fee is 0.055% for takers and 0.02% for makers. At their lowest, these can be reduced to 0.018% for takers and 0% for makers. Bybit also has the same beginner-friendly one-click buy feature as Coinbase. Here, you'll see a wide range of payment methods and fiat currencies supported, certainly more than you'll find on the Deposit Fiat page anyway. But as you probably guessed, this is an unnecessarily expensive method of buying crypto that we don't recommend unless it's your only option. So then, what's it like trading on Bybit? Well, unlike Coinbase, Bybit doesn't have separate regular and advanced or pro versions. If you navigate to the trade or derivatives menus, you'll immediately be confronted with a fully featured and customizable trading terminal. And this is exactly what most Bybit users are looking for. Like I said, there are lots of other features for casual users to enjoy, like Bybit Earn, and perhaps trading bots and copy trading. But first and foremost, it's an exchange for derivatives traders, and this is what it does best. Between the powerful matching engine and the high liquidity on Bybit, trading on the platform feels very responsive, with orders executing and filling almost instantly. You can use advanced charting tools from TradingView and view up to 4 charts at once in the terminal. Bybit also has many different order types, including conditional orders such as scaled orders, TWAP, chase limit, iceberg and webhook signals trading, which is an automated trading method based on TradingView signals. There's also a calculator to help you plan your trades and figure out what kind of risk and reward you're looking at. You can also see data like open interest, long-short ratio, and volume by order size. There's really a lot of information at your fingertips here, and Bybit has done a great job of annotating parts of the terminal to make it clear what exactly you're looking at. So, all said, Bybit is a fantastic exchange for anyone who is serious about trading. There are a ton of cryptos listed. Bybit's security record is spotless, the liquidity is great, customer support is great, and you have all the tools you need to execute advanced trading strategies with ease. And the fees are low too. Of course, if you're dipping your toes into crypto for the first time and you aren't familiar with candlestick charts and trading tools, then you might be better off getting started with Coinbase or Kraken. Then again, if you want to pay the lowest fees possible, then it is well worth learning how to buy and sell crypto through a trading terminal like Bybit's, because it's not that complicated and it can save you a lot of money in the long run. So, if you don't have an account at Bybit yet, then we have news for you. We have an exclusive deal with Bybit where new users can get up to $60,000 in sign-up bonuses. This is only available to Coin Bureau viewers and it won't be around for long, so be sure to take advantage of it while you can. The link is down below. Right, next up, Kraken, an exchange that has much in common with Coinbase. Kraken is another OG among crypto exchanges and one that's very well respected. Like Coinbase, it was founded in San Francisco, but 1 year earlier, in 2011. This was the era of Mt. Gox and other ill-fated early crypto exchanges. Jesse Powell was an entrepreneur who also served as a security consultant to Mt. Gox, and after witnessing firsthand the vulnerabilities in its security practices, he recognized a gap in the market for a secure and reliable platform for trading crypto. After 2 years of development and rigorous security testing, Jesse and his team launched the Kraken exchange in 2013. Kraken gained early credibility by working with TradFi institutions and regulators to ensure everything was done above board and compliantly. This approach paid off, and under Jesse's leadership, Kraken became one of the world's biggest and most well-regarded crypto exchanges, not to mention one of the longest running. Jesse was CEO until 2022 and now serves as chair of Kraken's board of directors. Former COO Dave Ripley is the current CEO. Now, Kraken operates in 190 countries and has obtained licenses in various jurisdictions, including Europe, Canada, the US, the UK, Australia, and Japan. Despite Kraken's best efforts, though, it has been sued by the SEC on 2 occasions. The first time around, Kraken settled by paying the SEC $30 million and ceasing offering its staking services in the US. However, the SEC came back for more in November 2023, and a federal judge has since denied Kraken's motion to have this new lawsuit dismissed. The case is still ongoing, but a change in leadership at the SEC next year might bring it to an end, so watch this space for updates. We should also mention that Kraken has a reputation for outstanding customer service, which is frankly not something you hear very often about crypto exchanges. There are hundreds of trained staff members in the US, UK, and Europe providing 24/7 customer support via phone, email, or in-app chat. Having humans who are paid to help you resolve any problems you might encounter on the exchange makes Kraken a particularly beginner-friendly and dependable choice. Like Coinbase, Kraken's reputation and longevity are the fruit of its efforts to comply with regulations and provide the most secure platform for crypto trading on the market. It's a testament to these efforts that Kraken hasn't suffered a single security incident in its 11-year history. No hacks, no exploits, nothing. No other major exchange of comparable age has a record this spotless. And when you consider that crypto exchanges are massive honeypots for hackers, this is seriously impressive. Now, credit is due to Kraken Security Labs, a team dedicated to identifying and addressing vulnerabilities within Kraken and the broader crypto ecosystem. Among other measures, the team conducts rigorous penetration testing and an industry-leading bug bounty program. Kraken also pioneered the regular implementation of external proof of reserve audits to demonstrate the solvency of the exchange and reassure users about the security of their assets. However, customer cash deposits at Kraken are not insured by the FDIC like they are at Coinbase, and this is something to keep in mind if you're anxious about placing your assets in the custody of an exchange. Like Coinbase, Kraken has typically erred on the side of caution when it comes to new listings. This is a characteristic of onshore exchanges, which face greater regulatory scrutiny than their offshore competitors. There were around 298 cryptos listed on Kraken by our last count, which is more than Coinbase, but still a small number compared to offshore competitors. Of course, these are 298 of the biggest and most in-demand cryptos out there, so Kraken is likely to have most, if not all, of the assets you need. However, if it's memes, newly launched tokens, or other small-cap cryptos you're after, then Kraken might leave you wanting. Not too long ago, getting any of these cryptos listed on Kraken was a pretty long shot. The Kraken website makes clear that, quote, "We have strict legal, compliance, engineering, and business standards for every listing." In other words, Kraken is pretty conservative when it comes to listing new cryptos. However, like Coinbase, Kraken does appear to be listing cryptos more liberally nowadays. The enormous demand for meme coins this year has reset the playing field for crypto exchanges, and they have to adapt to stay relevant. With the war on crypto in the US all but concluded, American exchanges like Kraken and Coinbase are likely to start closing the gap between their own offerings and those of offshore exchanges, which are listing memes like nobody's business. However, this will take time, and if trading a wide range of smaller cap cryptos is an immediate priority for you, then another exchange may meet your needs better than Kraken. Anyway, when it comes to fiat currencies, Kraken leaves Coinbase trailing in the dust. You can make deposits and on-ramp in American, Canadian, and Australian dollars, British pounds, euros, Swiss francs, and Japanese yen. Wherever possible, we recommend funding your fiat deposits via bank transfer, as this is typically the cheapest option. Kraken's fees, meanwhile, are quite competitive, with maker and taker fees that are lower than Coinbase but a little higher than Bybit and Binance. There's a similar tier structure with fee rates depending on your 30-day trading volume. The lower the tier, the higher the fees. For makers, fees start at 0.16% and can reach as low as 0%. Taker fees start at 0.26% and can be as low as 0.1%. However, you should bear in mind that these fees apply to Kraken Pro, which is analogous to Coinbase Advanced. On the more beginner-friendly standard version of Kraken, you'll pay a premium for the convenient instant buy feature. There's a 1.5% charge for most cryptos and 0.9% for stablecoins when paying with USD. Once again, paying with a card is best avoided because you'll be charged an additional 3.75% plus 25 cents, fees which go to third-party service providers. This fee also applies if you're using a digital wallet. Bank transfer is a better option with a fee of 0.5%. But this is still significantly higher than what you'd pay as a maker or taker on Kraken Pro. So unless you like paying more than you need to, we don't really recommend instant buy. Moving on, when it comes to trading, Kraken exists on a spectrum somewhere between Coinbase and the likes of Bybit or Binance. Like Coinbase, the standard interface for buying and selling crypto is very simple, intuitive, and user-friendly. It's an excellent design for casual users and beginners, but just remember that you'll be paying some high fees here. As I mentioned, Kraken Pro is analogous to Coinbase Advanced, but with some important differences. Whereas Coinbase is pretty bare bones, Kraken has more of the features that one would expect from a pro trading terminal. For example, Kraken has 9 order types, including iceberg and permutations of trailing stop and take profit orders. Meanwhile, Coinbase Advanced has only 3. On Kraken Pro, you can also set price alerts, and the terminal is easily customizable. There's even a whole library of widgets that you can add to your terminal to show you open interest, the long-short ratio, liquidation volume, volatility, and more. As such, we think Kraken Pro lives up to its name better than Coinbase Advanced, as there are plenty of functions and tools that will satisfy the needs of traders and technical analysts of all levels, not only the most casual. Now, Kraken is a name you don't see in headlines too often, perhaps because it's one of the least drama-prone companies in the whole crypto industry. This is a very good thing, and it's quite fitting for the exchange with the longest flawless security record. Anyone who uses Kraken will know that it's a fantastic exchange in basically every way. Its features are user-friendly and enjoyable to use, and this includes a pro platform that crypto pros will appreciate too. Crypto asset support is improving, but still quite far behind offshore competitors. Fiat currency support is very good though, and this makes Kraken a popular choice for on- and off-ramping. All in all, it's difficult to find something to dislike about Kraken. We are big fans and we strongly recommend checking it out. There's a link below if you want to create an account. Next on our list, we have Binance. Now, Binance is the biggest crypto exchange in the world by users and trading volume, and it ain't even close. So, how did they do it? Well, Binance was founded in 2017 by Changpeng Zhao, or CZ as we now know him, and Yi He. We know CZ as the former CEO and spiritual leader of Binance, but did you know that it was Yi who first onboarded him to a crypto exchange? Back in 2013, she co-founded the exchange that is now known as OKX, where she invited CZ to join as CTO. In 2017, CZ returned the favor by asking Yi to be a consultant for a new crypto exchange he was planning. She ultimately joined as co-founder, and together they started Binance. The timing could not have been better as the 2017 bull run was kicking off, and there was a need for a fast, reliable, and intuitive platform for trading all the new altcoins that were popping up at the time. Binance played its cards extremely well from the very beginning, with extensive asset support, low fees, and deep liquidity. By the end of 2017, the exchange was handling daily trading volumes in excess of $1 billion, which was a lot at the time. Binance's rapid rise to the top was even more impressive, considering that the company didn't even stay in one place for more than a few months. Shortly after the initial launch in Shanghai, a government crackdown prompted Binance to relocate to Japan. By early 2018, Binance HQ had moved again to Malta. And from 2019, Binance began transitioning into a decentralized structure. CZ stated that Binance would no longer have a single global headquarters, instead adopting a remote-first model with regional hubs in Dubai, Paris, Singapore, and other locations. It has to be said, though, that regulators aren't a fan of this approach, as it's difficult to pin down a single operational base. This has been an Achilles heel of Binance in the past, but ever since the settlement with the US Department of Justice last year, they've been consistently focused on transparency with their operations. But while a lot has been done, it still does suffer a lack of coverage in key onshore markets. Binance is available in around 100 countries, with notable exceptions including, the US, UK, Canada, Japan, and several European countries. If you are in the US, you can use the compliant Binance.us, but this exchange is barely a shadow of Binance proper. Alright, so I mentioned Binance FUD, and that means we have to talk about security. As the world's biggest crypto exchange, Binance is the largest target of them all. Its track record isn't flawless because in 2019, a compromised API enabled hackers to make off with $40 million. However, this proved to be a good test run for Binance's Secure Asset Fund for users. SAFU was launched in 2018 and acts as an emergency reserve to cover potential losses from security incidents, and in this case, it enabled Binance to swiftly reimburse affected users. Since then, Binance has strengthened its security infrastructure and has not reported any significant breaches. SAFU is now a buzzword in crypto, and at the last count, the fund held over $1 billion. As you would expect from an exchange of this stature, the majority of user funds are kept in cold storage. At the organizational level, funds are protected by multi-signature and threshold signature schemes. Real-time monitoring systems are employed to detect unusual activity, such as large withdrawals or account access anomalies, and enforce temporary withdrawal suspensions in such cases. Every month, Binance publishes an audited proof of reserves as verified by a zk-SNARK proof protocol. Just like on Bybit, users are able to verify their account balances via a Merkle tree and see that all user assets are fully backed by at least 1-to-1 by Binance's reserves. Now, at the time of making this video, Binance had around 386 cryptos listed across spot, margin, and derivatives markets. This is much more than Coinbase or Kraken, but noticeably fewer than Bybit. Perhaps because of Binance's high profile, it has been a little more conservative on this front than Bybit. Then again, Binance has listed quite a few small-cap cryptos of late, including, of course, many popular meme coins. Binance also appears to be more active in delisting cryptocurrencies compared to Bybit. Listed tokens are subject to regular review, and action is taken to delist those that fail to meet standards for compliance, ethical practices, liquidity, and user adoption. As for fiat currencies, you'll find a similar pattern on Binance as elsewhere. There are many fiat currencies supported via Binance's buy and sell feature, which is equivalent to Kraken's instant buy or Bybit's one-click buy. That is to say that it's a very convenient but expensive way of buying crypto through third-party providers. Payment methods available will depend on the currency, with credit cards typically being the most expensive. However, try to deposit fiat currency directly to Binance and you'll find your options drastically decrease. There are options for euros, Australian and New Zealand dollars, UAE dirhams, and a few other currencies, but most of the deposit methods seem to involve using a debit or credit card and paying hefty fees for the privilege. If you want to fund an account on Binance using, say, US dollars, British pounds, euros, or Japanese yen, well, your best bet is depositing to an onshore exchange like Kraken, buying stablecoins and sending them to Binance. When it comes to on-ramping with these currencies, onshore exchanges really can't be beat. All right, now, what about the fees you'll pay on Binance? Well, it's no coincidence that the world's biggest exchange has some of the lowest fees in the industry. It's hard to beat economies of scale after all. But it's worth noting that the rates on offer are very similar to Bybit's, so you can tell they're fighting to attract the same audience of traders. Binance's maker and taker fees have many tiers and several routes to getting discounted rates. For example, if you hold enough BNB, Binance's native exchange token, you can have your trading fees reduced by 25%. This is more than could be said for Coinbase, Kraken, or Bybit, which do not have any equivalent exchange token. On the spot market, Binance charges maker and taker fees at a base rate of 0.1% each. For users in the highest tiers, this can be reduced to 0.011% for makers and 0.023% for takers. If you're trading futures, the base fee is 0.02% for makers and 0.05% for takers, and at the highest tier, you can cut this down to 0% and 0.017% respectively. And lastly, the experience of trading on Binance. In short, it's great. Of course it is. You don't get to be in Binance's position without having an excellent product. Binance boasts the deepest liquidity of any exchange, ensuring tight spreads, fast execution, and minimal slippage, even during periods of volatility. The trading terminal is about as comprehensive and customizable as it gets, and experienced traders are not likely to find it wanting. In terms of exchange performance and reliability, there is little to complain about. However, we do think that Binance is less intuitive and user-friendly than Bybit and OKX, and by extension, much less user-friendly than Coinbase and Kraken. Because, if anything, Binance could be criticized for having too much going on. The terminal is pretty busy, and beyond that, the sheer number of features on the exchange is a little overwhelming. Plenty of these features will cater to more casual users, and they may be great. But there are just so many options in your face that it's hard to imagine a casual newcomer preferring this experience to the likes of Coinbase, Kraken, or indeed Bybit. So, if not a downsizing in its product range, we think Binance could at least benefit from a more streamlined UI. But, on the whole, unless you are indeed a total beginner, then too much choice is probably better than too little, and it's hard to go wrong with Binance. It's been the top exchange by users and volume for a long time, and for good reason. It does its job extremely well. There are plenty of cryptos available for trading, and the fees are about as cheap as they come. We can recommend Binance to anyone who already knows their way around a crypto exchange and knows what features they're looking for. If you haven't got an account already, then we also have an exclusive deal for you over there. Sign up down below, and not only will you get 20% off your trading fees for life, but you'll also get a $600 sign-up bonus, so be sure to take advantage of that. Okay, last but definitely not least, we have OKX. This exchange was founded in 2017, making it older than Bybit and Binance, but younger than Coinbase and Kraken. OKX's headquarters are in Singapore, but they also have offices in Dubai, Malta, San Jose, London, and many other locations. You can see a full list on their website. They also have regulatory licenses in a few of these too. Now, OKX was originally called OKX, and yes, you did hear me correctly. It sounds exactly the same, but there used to be an E between the OK and the X. That's E for exchange, but in a 2022 rebranding, the company decided to drop this letter to signal that it is not just an exchange. 2022 was, of course, the year of metaverse mania, and this, among other things, was one of the non-exchange features that OKX wanted to advertise, along with NFTs, games, and DeFi products. We're not sure if OKX was the first to adopt this more than just an exchange model, but this is now the industry standard for offshore centralized exchanges. A recurring theme we'll see with offshore exchanges is that they serve a global market, and in OKX's case, more than 100 countries, but are not available in certain key markets that might be described as onshore, notably including the US. So again, before deciding whether or not you want to use this exchange, you should first check if you are even able to. If you are able to access OKX and want to check it out, then your next question should of course be, is it safe? In short, yes it is. When it comes to centralized exchanges, OKX is as safe as they come. We can say this with confidence because OKX belongs in the same league as Bybit and Kraken, having never suffered a single hack or exploit in its history. This is no doubt the result of the impressive security procedures in place at OKX. In addition to holding 95% of its funds in multi-signature cold wallets, OKX stores private keys in RAM rather than permanent memory for enhanced security. Private key backups are stored in secure bank vaults in different locations and require in-person access by at least 2 of 4 authorized employees. Access to decryption passwords and backups is divided among these employees who also live in different locations, reducing the risk of any single point of failure. OKX also allocates a proportion of its trading fee revenue to a risk shield fund. This is analogous to Bybit's customer insurance fund because it is essentially a buffer protecting against extreme losses during liquidation events in derivatives markets. In other words, this risk shield is not insurance for customer deposits, and you should know that OKX does not offer any such insurance. Anyhow, it's standard practice now for exchanges to publish proof of reserves, and OKX is no exception. The exchange has doxed its own wallet addresses and uses a zero-knowledge proof algorithm to verify the total OKX wallet holdings. Like on Bybit, anyone can verify the balance of their own assets held by OKX via Merkle tree. And you can see the balance and ownership of the exchange's wallets as well as OKX's reserve ratio. All right, so OKX gets a big OK on the security front. But what about the asset support? Well, according to CoinGecko, there are 296 cryptos listed on OKX, which is surprisingly few for an offshore exchange. Even Kraken has more cryptos available for trading, and only Coinbase has fewer. This suggests that OKX has a fairly conservative listing policy and that this is not because of regulatory constraints. Perhaps it's the result of a quality over quantity ethos at OKX. But then again, the listing policy doesn't look so conservative right now, so perhaps things are changing. A quick scroll through the cryptos available show that OKX has followed competing exchanges in listing the same once obscure meme coins recently. Meanwhile, on the fiat side, OKX supports a wide range of world currencies for buying crypto via third-party providers. This can be done conveniently by debit or credit card, although, you'll pay a premium for this convenience. It's more cost-effective to deposit fiat, preferably via SEPA or bank transfer, to OKX and buy stablecoins or other cryptos on the spot market. But, like other exchanges, the range of fiat currencies that you can deposit directly to OKX is quite limited. When we checked, OKX was offering deposits for euros, Australian and Singaporean dollars, Brazilian real, and UAE dirham. Now, despite the 2022 rebrand as a one-stop shop for all things crypto, OKX remains a favorite for active traders. It ranks among the top exchanges globally for liquidity and trading volume, and one of the reasons is because of OKX's competitive trading fees. OKX belongs in the same club as Binance here because it has its own exchange token, OKB, which confers trading fee discounts to holders. Naturally, the more you hold, the greater your discount. Like other exchanges, OKX uses a tier system divided into regular user and VIP user levels. What stands out to us is how these tiers are assigned. OKX does not only base tiers on 30-day trading volume, but also users' asset balances and OKB holdings. Regular users are split up into 6 tiers, which are decided exclusively by OKB holdings and not asset balances or trading volume. When we get into the VIP levels, OKB holdings are no longer considered, and asset balances or 30-day trading volume are the deciding factor. For derivatives traders, fees start at 0.02% maker and 0.05% taker. This is quite similar to the fees charged by OKX's close competitors, Binance and Bybit. At the highest tiers, users are not charged, but actually paid maker fees. Specifically, OKX's VIP 8 tier pays a minus 0.005% maker fee and charges a taker fee of 0.015%. On the spot market, maker fees begin at 0.08% and taker fees at 0.1%. This is marginally cheaper than Bybit and Binance. Once again, the highest VIP tier pays a minus 0.005% maker fee and charges a taker fee of 0.015%. And competitive fees and deep liquidity aren't the only reasons why OKX is a favorite among active traders. As you would expect, the trading terminal and overall user experience are very good. We think OKX's trading interface hits the sweet spot between functionality and design. The terminal is clean and easy on the eye, but at the same time, it's also packed with features, some of which you will not find on the other exchanges we've looked at today. For example, on OKX, you can view 2, 3, and 5-day timeframes. These timeframes are indispensable for certain types of trading, and they usually are only available with paid TradingView subscriptions. On OKX, you can use them for free. OKX continues this theme with a time anchor feature, which allows you to anchor to a certain time of day on the chart when switching between timeframes. This is very convenient and can save you a lot of clicking and dragging that is otherwise necessary to navigate to the same point in time when switching between timeframes. Aside from these distinctive features, you'll find all of the advanced order types and leverage options that you would expect to find on any trader-oriented crypto exchange. The terminal is easy to customize to your liking, and you can even show 8 different charts at a time on a single screen. I'm sure this is great if you're a fly or enjoy getting liquidated. Anyway, having compared many different exchanges' trading terminals, we must say we are impressed by this one. It's intuitive and easy to use and has a few tricks up its sleeve that competing exchanges do not offer. So, OKX is in fact a bit of a misnomer because it's much more than an OK exchange. It's a pretty darn great one, in fact. Unless you're looking for an exchange with a huge range of obscure altcoins, then OKX will likely satisfy your needs very well. It has a spotless security record, competitive low fees, and the interface is well designed. If you're able to access it, OKX is an excellent choice all round. And I know what you're thinking, yes, we do have an exclusive offer for our Coin Bureau viewers. If you use the link below, you will get a 40% discount on trading fees for life, as well as up to $20,000 in sign-up bonuses. Yep, check it out now. Of course, there are other great exchanges out there, but it's hard to beat this quintet as far as we're concerned, and you can't really go too far wrong with any of them. So, you should now have all the information you need to make the right choice for you based on your level of experience and interest, the jurisdiction you live in, what currency you're using to fund your account, and what exactly it is you want to do on the exchange. Aside from the particulars of these 5 exchanges, you'll also now recognize the importance of on and offshore status and the pros and cons that come with each. And importantly, you'll also know how to avoid getting ripped off during the all-important on- and off-ramping procedures. So, I think that means you're all set. But what will it be for you? Let us know in the comments what your favorite exchange is and why. Would your top 5 look any different to ours? We look forward to hearing from you. If you've picked your exchange and you now want to learn how to trade like a pro on it, then may I humbly recommend you check out our dedicated trading channel, where Dan, Aaron, and Mariano share their combined decades of experience and wisdom to help you take your trading game up to God tier. You can subscribe right here. And if you got something out of this video, don't forget to leave us a like, subscribe to this channel, and turn your bell notifications on so that you can be among the first to catch our next upload. Okay, that's it. Well done for watching all the way through. See you again soon.